Kia ora and good evening, Rotorua. I'm Steve Comber. Ahead in your Tuesday night bulletin, a Rotorua truck driver who died yesterday has been named. Visitor nights spent in Rotorua are on the increase, and RDC call for public input into proposed skate parks. Those stories and more ahead tonight. Well, a Rotorua truck driver who died after his vehicle rolled yesterday morning has been named. 45-year-old Gary John Galvin died at the scene of the crash at Horohoro shortly before 8 a.m. It appears he became trapped in the cab and died as a result of his injuries. A 19-year-old Rotorua man also remains in critical condition in Waikato Hospital after a three-car crash. The teenager was in the hospital's intensive care unit after the accident on State Highway 2, Maramarua, on Sunday. 5 people were injured, and police say that they have yet to determine if speed, alcohol or weather conditions were indeed factors in the accident. And to continue with the bad news, unfortunately, yet another Rotorua teenager is in a serious condition, this time in Rotorua Hospital after a car crashed into a power pole. 3 people were in the car when it crashed into the pole at the intersection of Edmund Road and Allison Street in the early hours of Sunday morning. All of those involved in the crash were aged between 16 and 19. Senior Sergeant Mike Membry of the Rotorua Police said all 4 occupants were trapped in the car and needed to be cut free by staff of the Rotorua Fire Service. Mr Membry says police are continuing with their investigations. A Rotorua District Council warning remains in place until tomorrow, advising residents to avoid swimming or taking fish from streams passing through urban areas to where they discharge into Lake Rotorua. Council Utilities Operations Manager Eric Court says it's a precautionary measure due to possible contamination from wastewater overflows during the peak of heavy rain on Sunday. Rainfall records show Rotorua received around 220 millimetres of rain over the weekend, 25 falling on Saturday and 195 millimetres on Sunday. Mr Court also asks residents in the eastern part of Rotorua to be conservative with their use of water, as power had been disrupted in the area, resulting in the main eastern reservoir getting down to around 16% of water capacity. He says a power outage in Rotomar and Rotuiti had also affected reservoir water levels, so conservative water use by residents would be helpful. Yesterday, the council had 6 crews working around the district attending 2 problems with fallen trees and surface flooding. For the 6th consecutive month, growth for visitor nights spent in Rotorua's commercial accommodation exceeded national growth. Figures just released for November last year show a 4.7 increase over November 2009 and exceeding the 2% national benchmark for the same period. The increase is being attributed to strong growth in Rotorua's key international markets. Destination Rotorua Tourism Marketing General Manager Don Gunn is confident Rotorua will continue to experience growth in the international market throughout 2011. Mr Gunn is particularly excited about the Chinese market, saying direct flights between Gung Ho and Auckland could see an additional 25,000 Chinese visitors every year. He says Rotorua's proximity to Auckland, together with our combined geothermal and Māori cultural appeal, means Rotorua is expecting to be welcoming a high proportion of those visitors arriving through Auckland. Well, a public meeting to discuss the features of skate parks proposed for Western Heights and Fordlands is taking place at the council on Thursday. The parks are being developed by the council this year as part of the Youth Spaces project, aimed at improving facilities for young people in the district. RDC Youth Projects Officer Jill Campbell says the meeting is specifically to review the draft detailed designs for the skate park features. She says anyone keen on skating and likely to utilise the new skate facility should come along and help review the proposed skateboarding features on the 2 sites, or the 2 proposed sites. The meeting is being held on Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. at the Rotorua District Council Civic Centre in Committee Room 2. And in your sports news tonight, the weekend storm also saw Bay of Plenty Cricket's Williams Cup final washed out in the heavy rain. The final was due to be played at the Bay Oval at Mount Maunganui. The finalists had been decided on Saturday, with Tauranga Boys College defeating East Bay United by 5 wickets, while the Otamotai Cadets versus Mount Maunganui game was declared a tie. This means Mount Maunganui, who qualified top, will play in the final against Tauranga Boys College. The match has been rescheduled and due to be played next Sunday. And weather, let's take a look at it. Rotorua surrounding areas tonight, a few showers still remaining. Light winds down to a low 16 degrees. Tomorrow, Wednesday, fine weather. Light winds, a high 26 and a low 14. For Thursday, longer range, fine spells, light winds, a high 28 and a low 16. A marine forecast for Wednesday, variable winds at 5 knots, northeast 10 during the afternoon. Low waves are forecast and long fine spells if you want a bit of fishing on the lakes tomorrow. If you did miss any of tonight's bulletin, don't forget you can watch it again. Simply log on to tvrotorua.co.nz. The main page there, click on the link that says View Latest City News, and it'll load up there all ready for you to view again if you would like to see any of tonight's stories again. Well, still to come tonight, stay with us. Jessica Farrell from Korowai Aroha joins us with some tips on how to stop smoking. Maybe it could be a new resolution this year, then some aid and helpers out in the community for you. Jackie James updates us on her Ironman training. And Tony Bland is in to talk about eye protection from UV rays as the hot summer months continue. City News, we are back right after this break.